interest in texture. Sometimes I do some with just black, and then sometimes they're multicolored like this one is. Okay.
What kind of paper is that?
This is, she asked what kind of paper this is. It's unwaxed deli paper. I order it by the case. That means 10,000 sheets of it. So there's no warm relief in this one because I really just liked it the way it was because I like turquoise and green and whatever. So this one's not quite finished, but it's really close, I think. And it's just another design study. Layers of that same green tissue over it, and then I used another paper that had staining on the back. We're going to have time to show that. I gotta find a stained paper on the back, okay? This was white. It was just white. It was just like this paper, which looks like it's got like there's a gray, right? But it's not. It's transparent. So you can see my hand through there, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I just flip it over and I put acrylic paint on it and I just scrape it with a credit card across, okay? Real thin, all right? And so then you can tone this and add it in as needed. And that's what this was. There was turquoise on the back. And I like to use my golden acrylics for that, the fluid acrylics, so that, you know, we get that all out of the way. Show you my process. I'm an intuitive painter, so I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now. I grabbed a few pieces of paper that I thought I may use. I probably won't use this one. There's some graphics in here. There's some of this. Probably won't use that because even just looking at them tonight, I got a little tired of seeing it, but I could show it. There's some of the dots that you asked about. Here's some of the stained papers on the back. So I'm just going to start grabbing and gluing them down with the matte medium and dabbing them with the tissue.
What happens if you don't dab with the tissue?
It's just too sloppy. Yeah, because I really put it on there. You know, that's one of the mistakes that I see in the class is that sometimes people don't use enough matte medium and it looks opaque laying there and it's like, yeah, and if it's already started to dry, it's too late, you know. So this is, I love graphics, but I don't want to see farmer's market on there. So, you know, everyone probably knows that, you know, in order to eliminate that, I just cut the top and the bottom off of the word so you can't read it. So maybe I'll just stick one of these over this.
Oh, mark it.
You could just about, yeah. Frank
agree.
saw that, me and you, Frank. All right, so, all right. Here we go, we'll get rid of that. So I'm gonna, you know, I can add some graphics by doing that, okay? Don't think I want it to be, I have to think, I really am, I'm just winging it here. So, all right, so I just take the matte medium and I really generously put it down, but not where it's, you know, big puddles or anything, okay? So you can see where it shows through.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to kind of keep repeating a little bit of that gray. I cut some, but then I will tear some, so I don't cut them all. I don't have straight edges on all of them. Okay? I want to add a couple more of these too. I like to have different shapes, and I overlap and create. Ooh, sorry, what was that? Yeah, Mike. Okay. So I want to leave that white area there because it's a possibility. It might not. That raw edge there.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I've done this kind of stuff with kids, but I used Elmer's glue watered down. Is there a difference between Elmer's glue and Mod Podge and matte medium?
One thing I have heard about Mod Podge, and you know, if somebody knows the answer to that, please go ahead and jump in, but I have heard it has a longer drying time. Is that correct? She asked if Elmer's glue and Mod Podge and matte medium were the same, right?
Or similar?
Similar. Okay. So, does anybody have a good answer for that? Because I'm not 100%.
I don't know. I do.
Okay.
Elmer's glue mixed with water.
Yes.
Your paper wrinkled terribly, and your substrate, so that doesn't work. And Mod Podge is really a lot thicker,
Oh, it is.
and it can get cloudy.
Does it have a longer drying time?
Oh, no, yes, Mod Podge does.
Okay.
And-
See, I think there's a reason for that, you know, and I've had people show up for the class with Mod Podge, and they seem to have trouble with it not drying as quick as matte medium. This has but I will tell you that I layer so much that mine take a while to dry. But I think because I handle it so much, I know what I can get away with, you know, but if I put paint on there to enhance an area, I know I've got to dry that before I can start adding some more collage onto it. You just don't stick that on there and expect to do any layering on it without moving the paint. So I'm thinking I want to maybe do my center of interest down in this area, so I'm going to lead you into that with some graphics here. This graphics didn't excite me too much, but this will show a little bit of a difference to you, I believe. This is a more complicated paper, but not that much more. So, you know, I'm teaching them how to, by suggesting some texture. I don't like to put any excess on there if I don't need to, so I'm going to take that off of there, and I'm going to overlap this area to soften that edge right there, but I don't need all of this, so I'm going to put that there. And I'll probably layer something else over the top of this, because I do sell my work by the pound. I do. Yeah. Those paintings were cheaper earlier this week, but I've added some stuff to it, so there you go. Yeah. So let's just put something here. Okay. Now I'd like to pop something in here to make this a little more fun. Yeah, I heard that. Ooh, okay, so that's a yes. So when I put this down, you can see that, do you see the yellow peeking through there? And the white here? Okay, so now you're understanding how those papers work, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So then the cherry paper that I told you that I invented, Lana, am I right or wrong? Have you seen this before? Did I make this? Did I invent this though? Because I want these spots to...
I think you did.
I did. I think I did. But see, now I'm layering over the top, and I continue to layer and layer until I get what I want. I paint until I like it, or put papers on until I like
Do you ever
it.
put paint?
Yes, absolutely. Frank asked if I ever put paint. I usually do some more collaging first, and then I kind of see where I need to go with it. Yeah, and what it needs, what's it calling for. This is one of my stamps that you saw back here that I carved. And so I can repeat this graphics some way by, you know, putting this in, and this to me sort of does that. So it's a little bit different shape than this, but I don't want to put it up there, but it feels good up there right now. But you know, I'm going to have to bring something out here, which I would do. I would bring a line or something. So all right, Frank likes it, we're doing it. But I'm going to bring it in onto the yellow a little bit and bring it out there. So, all right, he likes it. I just met Frank tonight. So,
Well, we actually knew each other long ago. We've all met.
Don't tell stories out of school. All right, so don't want that much of that there. Let's see. I want some of that gray graphics here to connect that up. Just throw this in here, and then I'm going to add more. Questions about my...
You don't rotate your picture as...
Not yet, I
Not
don't.
yet, but you do.
I do,
Okay.
yeah. I always want to see if there's, you know, a possibility.
something.
Not always is there with mine. I'm not, I think I mentioned that earlier, I'm just not very lucky that way. I try to work, all four sides as I'm going. This is the paper that I called the housekeeping, which I made them clean their box with. You gotta take the class. Can't tell you that.
Jennifer, do you gather all the colors that you're going to use?
I try to, yes.
Yeah, kind of before you start?
I kind of gather, and go, okay, this, but I don't limit myself to that. I say, well, I've got liberty to go back here to my papers or wherever I have them and say, I want to put some more of this in or that in. So,
You may have said this before, but what is the black that you, for your stencils, stamps?
paint.
Is it black
What
paint?
is the black?
Yeah.
This is paint. Yeah. I use
Black
acrylic
acrylic?
paint.
Just black acrylic?
Yes. Yeah. I want to bring this. So I'm integrating some of these things in that I'm placing in there with a piece of paper that was sort of a cleanup, around the box where we were running our rollers over a stencil or stamping or whatever. And I was trying to tell them that these could be some of your most prized papers because it'll help you connect or integrate it into the next area and soften edges. They seem to be feeling like they're the same size. I may overlap things here a little bit. So somebody asked if I added paint. I do at certain points. I will look at something and decide I need to enhance the area with maybe more of this gold or whatever it is. And or pop white in or something, and so I'm free to do that.
And the paint you would use would be acrylic, right?
Acrylic, always acrylic for me,
Right.
for this, yeah. We'll bring some whites in with some of those dots.
Have you ever tried staining your tissue paper with watercolors, permanent watercolor rather than acrylic?
No, I haven't, because once you wet that, what's permanent? She asked if you can stain your papers with permanent watercolor.
Well, with dry lighter would be one of the
Well, it's going to
issues.
dry lighter, but then when you re-wet it with the matte medium, isn't it going to lift?
Not necessarily.
No?
No, it's permanent.
I think it will.
It's more transparent sometimes.
Yeah? Yeah, we could try that. I'm liking that orientation a little bit better. Has anybody else ever done any collaging with original papers? What, you want to share with us your... No? Nobody? Okay, you should have been in the class.
You mentioned that on some of yours you had skins.
Skins, I take, I use freezer paper for my palette paper in my studio because it's bigger. And I cut it, how bigger I need it. And so when I'm using my foam rollers and I'm putting my paint down, I gather it up like this and I'm using it, whatever. Next day I come in, the next day I come in, the next day I come in. Pretty soon I've got a pretty big buildup and I've got, sometimes there's a little pile that, geez, I didn't use that, I should have or whatever. And sometimes before I leave my studio, I fold it over and lift it back up and I'm getting different areas. Okay, so after a while that dries. I didn't bring any with me, but after the fun day, it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to do this. And I get to pick it up and pull it up and there's a surprise. And I save them all. They go in a little cup like this. And I dig through that, I dump it out and I dig through and I see, oh, that's perfect for right here, And so I'll use it in my paintings.
So is that adhered the same?
I put it on with gel medium. She asked how it was adhered, and I put it on with gel medium because it's a little heavier. Yeah. good question. I just cut into that stamp. I take what serves me. You know, I'm taking this off so it's not the same level as this one. And I'm going to take you off up here with some darks too, but it doesn't have to be that value of dark in my opinion.
About 5 minutes, Jen.
5 minutes? Oh no. Thank you. All right. Well, any questions before? Because we have 5 minutes. I won't get to finish this, so.
Did you ever like spatter on some aqua?
Oh, sure. Yeah, when I get closer to the end, if I decide I want to have a wow factor and that sort of thing, yeah, then I will lay colors in, you know, depending. I will put them down there and say, you know, do I want to have, you know, a red or a turquoise or whatever? Yeah, definitely. So, you know, yeah. This one probably will get something in there like that because it is, you know, but not yet. Yeah. So. All right, because I put that in there, I want to repeat it somewhere. Maybe a little dazzler somewhere. So I'm not going to be able to finish this to a point of where I'd like to for you, but I appreciate everybody coming. I'm again honored to be here. Go ahead, Rita. Yes, that's what somebody already suggested that from the group. Was it Lisa? Did you tell me that? That you would put the final piece on Facebook, yeah. No guarantees on when that will be, but yeah, definitely. I will do that. Thank you. So, all right, this is the process that I do. So, thank you.